Here we are at Race Service, the home of BlackOut. We got all kinds of things going on here and all kinds of people here as well. There's projects galore. We got old projects, we got new projects. Me and Tuerck are rebuilding our Formula Drift cars. I got my Z on the lift, we're getting it ready. We're doing a whole new rear end, all kinds of crazy fabrication going on. And we have Tuerck's crew over here getting some work as well. And we have Dylan down here on the ground. He's whipping up some fab tables because we need a place to work. We need some horizontal space. And speaking of getting work done, we got Tuerck digging for gold, dude. What you got? You got gold! Gold, Tuerck, gold, I tell you. Of course, the Ferrari car is here and present because this thing is incredible. It is ready. This is probably the only car that's ready to go, right, Tuerck? Yeah, that's a good thing. That's not bad. We even got Biddies building motors. Now they're ahead of us. Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, so we're installing the camshafts on our new race engine this year. We have Brian here who is very experienced. He's gonna do it properly. So the first thing we're gonna do is put some assembly lube in here after we get the caps off, and I am slacking on that. One of the main reasons for upgrading cams is to essentially just get more power out of the engine. This year we're going with a bigger series camshaft. It's actually a 272. Brian Crowder calls a stage 3 cam from his stage 2 cam, and that reason is trying to get more high-end power. So this motor we're gonna rev higher than we ever had, about 9,000 and 9,500 RPMs. And with that, we wanted to go with a bigger camshaft to allow more air and more fuel into the combustion chamber for a longer period of time in order to keep that power rolling to the top end of the power band. With a mild camshaft or an even stock camshaft, they like to have a lot more torque, so power on earlier and then plane off a lot sooner. So we're trying to just maintain, with the port job that we have from OCD Works, is maintain good torque all the way through and make sure that that power keeps climbing all the way to the red line.
So one of the nice things about being in SoCal is that we have guys like Tim from Garrett being able to stop by the shop and explain to us some of the differences between the new housings and the old housings so that we don't have any issues when we're working with these new configurations. The higher flow of these small frame turbos changes the inlet diameter to a larger size versus this one, as you can see. So he brought by a couple of these little machined trim rings that we can use to press in and be able to adapt these new turbos to our old manifolds.
We had this massive box show up from Vibrant. These are, I'm already halfway unpacked, but this is filled with pretty much everything we need as far as fabrication components, our exhaust system, flex bellows, you know, V-band flanges, exhaust tubing. So I'm looking forward to opening up the rest of these boxes so that I can start organizing and getting them on a shelf like Forsberg or something like that. Organization is necessary sometimes. So I'll see you later.
All right, this is our billet lower intake manifold from RJ Manufacturing. These guys make this out of one solid piece of aluminum, cut it all out, and this actually will adapt from the VQ to a GTR lower manifold flange so we can bolt on our AMS billet carbon upper manifold. Just a really nice looking piece, gets hidden underneath a lot of stuff. And this is what I was just talking about, the AMS Alpha carbon billet upper intake manifold for the GTR. Of course, this thing is just the icing on the cake. This thing is just absolutely beautiful and very functional as well. Some people are a little cautious of it, but they test these things to over 50 PSI and not a single one has failed, so ain't too worried about it.
Well, I hope I don't use all this stuff. Part of the off-season prep is just dialing all of your spares package. Right now we're going through all the WiseFab stuff. Everybody knows that I've been known to damage a rear suspension link or two, so we have plenty to go around and we should be set for the entire year for the Pro Formula D car.
On this episode's product spotlight, we're gonna be using Blackmagic No Scrub All-Wheel Cleaner. This stuff is amazing. We use it all the time on the drift cars because they're getting covered with brake dust. I mean, Ryan Tuerck's got new white wheels. He's gonna be going through this stuff by the case. But this stuff removes all kinds of brake dust, road grime, anything that comes in contact with the wheel. It's super easy to use and it's safe for all wheels because it's pH balanced. All you do is you spray it on, let it sit for a few minutes, hose it off, and then wipe it clean.
transmission bolted to the engine. This is about to go in the car. This is the Hollinger RD6. It's a 6-speed sequential, so it has 6 forward gears, 1 reverse gear. This is pretty badass transmission. Mad Mike, Daigo, a lot of guys use this transmission. It's really phenomenal for drifting. You can do the flat shift where you can just stand on the gas and just pull the gears, which makes life a little bit easier behind the cockpit. It's one less thing you have to worry about. So anyway, this is now bolted on with the new ACT triple plate clutch. It's about to go into the car for the last time, we hope, fingers crossed, and then we'll move on to the next stage of pain in the ass car build. We're here at FSR Motorsports for the dyno. We finally made it. This is one of the most nerve-wracking days because of all the hours and months and time spent on building this car for the season. This is the first true test of the car running, you know, the package that we're gonna have for the year. So all the off-season work and logistics and everything is kind of coming down to this point. The goals today are to really just get the car fully tuned. We have John Reed Racing, one of the best tuners there is, behind the laptop tuning this Motec M150 ECU. We're hoping to break 900 horsepower at the wheel mark with some really good torque, have a better setup than last year. So we're excited to see what she does. Nine club, baby. This is the dyno graph. After John is making a pull, this is what reads the horsepower and torque numbers. So you have max power, which is this line right here that follows the graph up, and then max torque, which is this other graph that comes up a little quicker but then planes off. So after John's done making a run, he can refer back to this graph here to see if the changes that he made is what he's looking for.
When you look at a setup like this, the first thing you think of is once it gets running, you have to put a computer on it and get it to run. But that goes for all cars. Anytime you're doing aftermarket parts onto an engine, you're changing the overall way that the engine runs, the way that the air goes in, the way the air gets out, how much fuel comes in. All those things change anytime you change an intake, a turbo, exhaust, and anytime you're running this much aftermarket on the car, you absolutely have to put a computer on it. Sometimes even before you fire it up. You want to plug in, check your timing, check that every sensor is firing correctly, and you get that guy to come in and tune that motor to make sure that it's running 100%.
We're out here, Willow Springs, for the Advanced Auto Parts Detour. This is our first time testing for the year. We've been in the shop for far too long. Dominic and Brian have been working their butts off, doing a phenomenal job. First couple laps were great. Thanks to BC Racing, we have 3 different sets of shocks with all different spring rates, so we can quickly change them out and get back on the track and see what the difference is. You know, there's been a lot of changes to the car with a different Mishimoto radiator, coolant system, different engine package, power delivery, everything is all different on this car, different rear end, it's a lot lighter now. So really we're just trying to collect as much data we can today to go into Long Beach fully prepped and knowing what our race day situation is gonna be like.
For a typical test day, we're more so focused on the engine package. So we want to make sure that the engine is running reliably, our drivetrain is all set up, and then we start working down the ladder from there. To start putting a little more grip into the car, start dialing the suspension. We did a fresh engine setup with the twin turbo VQ, working with AMS turbo and also fast intentions to give us a much more simplified twin turbo package in the front end than we had in years past. Once we started to put some power down, turn the boost back up, and put the nitrous on, Then we started laying some laps down and starting to push out towards the wall and trying to feel the all new suspension setup that we have here with the new weight distribution.
All right, testing is a wrap for today. It went about as good as it could. We shaked everything down. We found a few issues, nothing major that we want to address before the first round of Formula Drift in the streets of Long Beach. But yeah, overall, we're pumped. The new Nexen tires are phenomenal. We know how we want to run Long Beach, what gearing, tire pressures, and everything. So we are just gonna go back, nut and bolt the car, do the changes and updates that we need to do, and we should be ready.
Well, it's been a pretty long road, but here we are on the roof. We didn't exactly have time to even leave the shop to go to a chill spot, but
Not lately.
we got quite a chill spot here.
Yeah.
Up on the roof, hanging out. We're having a couple beers. Cheers, bud.
Cheers, dude.
Yeah, man. Talking about the ridiculous amount of effort that we put into these race cars, but they are looking good, feeling good, driving great.
Basically
So-
rebuilt them from scratch,
Yep,
essentially.
all the way.
So it was a lot longer of an off season than we expected, but
Yeah.
a lot of cool stuff's been going down. We've had Larry McReynolds stop by, who was the crew chief of Dale Earnhardt about 20 years ago, so that's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Awesome guy.
he's just an awesome dude, and he took time out of his busy schedule to come check out our builds, and he brought me a carburetor, which we're gonna try to install on our fuel-injected 2JZ, but
Yeah, let me know how that goes.
I'll keep you posted.
So we're heading to Long Beach and we want to win.
We're both gonna win, dude!
That's right, we're both gonna win. We're gonna figure this one out. But we also want you guys to win. So go to www. I really didn't even mean to say that. So go to blackout-motorsports.com to find out all the info about this crazy giveaway that we're gonna do. And to get into the contest, all you gotta do is text BlackOut to 55678 on your cell phone.
We're giving away monthly prizes like Arctic coolers, sunglasses, GoPro cameras, Advanced Auto Parts gift cards, Nexen tires for your car, and a grand prize is a trip for two to come hang out with Chris and I right here in LA at Race Service to be on the last episode of Blackout Garage.
So to enter, text BlackOut to 55678 on your cell phone. And for all the details on the prizes, head to blackout-motorsports.com.
So finally, we're basically done with the pro cars.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting loaded up tonight, which is awesome. And we know we can focus on something else.
Yep,
Since
yep.
we can never stay still,
Oh, there's always got
we got to build something new.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So we have something to introduce to you guys, which is going to be awesome. Gumout and Black Magic are giving each of us $25K to do 2 builds for the Blackout show.
So we got a lot of dumb ideas, you know, we're always trying to think of
Always.
something, but we want to hear from you guys what we should build.
As always, like and share the video and let us know what you want to see us build in the comments below.